We got Chris behind the camera here is going to ask us a few questions, and we're going to just talk about real estate, some hot takes on the market. Hey guys, Steve Zalunardo here with RE/MAX West Zalunardo Associates. I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to Mike Gatti. Mike is joining RE/MAX West Zalunardo Associates. He's going to be my wingman going forward regarding the real estate. We've come to a point here now that we have to expand because the business is getting too much for me to handle, where we need to be able to service our clients 100%. And so Mike's going to come on and take the flow and be part of the team, which is awesome. So,
yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Steve, for introducing me. My name is Mike Gatti. I've been in real estate going on 5 years now, and this is a big opportunity for me to help jump in and help someone, a veteran like Steve, take his business to the next level. We're looking forward to actually growing the business and creating a little team here and basically helping service all our clients, whether it be here or in Florida, and basically bringing those clients from Ontario to Florida, and even whatever we already have here, just bringing it to the next level.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. I mean, naturally, we want to be able to service our clients 100%, and Mike's definitely the key to that. And great guy, humble beginnings, just like myself, and which is good. So we understand our clients' needs, and not to mention we're going to, we'll sacrifice our time and to make sure that our clients definitely get everything they want and need with their real estate purchases and sales. And this is what's important to me, why we've never built out a team in the past. Is like, who do you trust that's going to be able to kind of give the the straight information to your clients, make sure they're not in danger when they're buying or overpaying for properties, make sure they're selling for top dollar, try to extract every dollar out of that buyer. And Mike's definitely going to be that great fit for us here at Zalunardo Associates. So we're going to be talking about some real estate today, just a few tips. We got Chris behind the camera here is going to ask us a few questions, and we're going to just talk about real estate, some hot takes on the market.
There was a 0.75% interest rate increase announced today. So how do you guys think that's going to affect the market?
I think I'd like you to talk about that interest rate.
The trigger rate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this again. The higher the rate goes, the lower the lower value of your property will be, and this is just the way it goes. It's if interest rates are here, obviously affordability goes down a notch. And now if your house is up here, you're going to have to meet that buyer at some point. So you're going to keep bringing the value of your house down until you meet your buyer. So yeah, the interest rate hike's not good news for property value in Toronto. Obviously, we know that they've gone way too aggressive, and they could have mitigated this if they started this in January, or at least the end of 2020 or January 2021, where they could have gone in incremental phases of quarter basis points to get us to the point we are now, but not with how many people that accumulated massive amounts of debt, and now they're basically throwing the book at them, and it's either they're going to swim or sink. And I want Mike to talk about the trigger rate of the interest rate, because this is going into that where people will sink or swim.
I definitely think actually it's going to be a big turning point in the sense of the trigger rates being triggered, because talking to a bunch of clients that I've had, they kind of got mortgages the end of last year, beginning of this year, where we were in the 1.45, 1.6 range, and their trigger rates for example with a bank like TD was like 4.2 or 4.3. Well, now we're going to be hitting those rates, and there would be, as I imagine, talking to a bunch of people, a lot of people that are kind of getting to that point. So now with this increase is going to be the point where we really see those rates come into effect.
So this was my fear the whole time with variable mortgages, and I wasn't aware of this trigger rate till today, because I never lock into variable, or I don't do anything variable. I always have a locked in rate, because I feel like I'd rather set and forget it. But that's interesting, and this is my fear with what happens with people that over leverage and then banked on the cheap debt. The problem is when people bank on cheap debt, it's not like they're putting that extra money aside. No. They're like, wow, we bought this amazing property, we're only paying X amount of dollars. And they're still like eating out on a Tuesday night, spending $400 or $500 on meals, buying the best shoes, the best cars. And now, like the Bank of Canada, obviously, this was coming down. This was already, they warned us last year. 7 interest rate hikes were supposed to come place, and nobody paid attention. It was that greedy mindset where people thought that the government can't do this to the market. The economy is going to fail. They don't want this on their books. And at the end, you can't look at it like they can't. They can do whatever they want, and they're doing it. And this is exactly my prediction. And I hate to be right on this point, but it is what it is, and we're here now. That rate, that interest rate. So you don't know what So the trigger point's at 4.2 to 4.5. Does it? You don't know the payment, how it goes up, right?
I don't know exactly how the payment's gonna go up. From what I understand is that you'll be approached by or get a call from your lender that'll tell you work out the new rate. I don't know if it's gonna be basically the new prime rate or it's gonna be a negotiated rate. So if it was like 2,000 or whatever 2% before, now it's going to be 3%. I'm not sure exactly how.
If it's like an escalation,
it
like
might be
if
an
they have in
escalation
phases.
Maybe to get to the actual.
That'd be really good to know.
Rate.
You should look into that.
I'll look into it today.
That's because I'd like to know that for myself too, just for further scenarios. What else you got in the pipe there, Chris?
Have you guys seen the new Alberta campaign?
So what is this going on? No, I've never heard of this.
It's going on right now. They're targeting Toronto and Vancouver, so residents of those two cities, and they're trying to lure basically those people.
So this is Alberta itself is promoting this.
Yeah.
So what they're seeing, from what I get from the advertisements,
Yeah.
it seems like they're trying to like appeal to people that can't afford a house here.
Yes.
Like my tenant, for example.
Yes.
Might move there because.
Oh really?
Yeah, because she goes, I can't afford to live in Toronto. So maybe Alberta is the place to go, and through hearing this advertisement.
I don't blame them. I got to be honest. Like Toronto lost the luster for me, especially during COVID. I got to be honest. Like just like totally lost the luster of everything here. So maybe Alberta is calling. Maybe it's the right place. I don't know.
I don't know about the weather.
It's just the weather, right? Isn't this like it's deeper cold than us? Like I'm not even aware of it.
Yeah, no, it sucks, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I love how they put it through, right? Enjoy Canada's highest average wages and lowest taxes, plus own a house in one or two major cities for as little as $450. That's very attractive. For a family that has no connection to Toronto, like I don't know, like do you stay here? Like just the weather sucks. Like,
and looking at Platinum too, like he's selling us a ton of stuff over there, like with like 2-year rental guarantee.
Yeah, I guess because people are just moving out there, right?
Yeah,
interesting.
Do you think it's actually going to lure people out? Or?
I think so. I think Toronto lost a lot of the luster, to be honest. Like naturally, if you have a business here, you're making X amount of money, and you have roots set in here, you're not going to leave. You might invest, but ultimately, if you have employment and you can get a job down there, you might think about it. Like if you can buy a full I don't know if it's a detached property, but a full detached property for $450 in a nice suburban area. I don't know. Do you make the trek? I think it does pull people in.
I think it's a younger generational thing.
1,000%. Yeah. I think not even young, but could be my age, 40s, 50s. Yeah. People just they're tired, right?
Yeah.
They're tired of just, especially now with all this inflation and everything that's happening. People are like, what am I doing this all for? We're going to be dead soon. Like literally. If people think they're going to, look, if you look at life cycle, you got what? I don't know, 80 good years, right? There's 80 and 0. I'm 40. That's how I'm a half a tank of fuel. I don't know. Like my goal is to live to 100, but I'm just saying, like 80 great years, like still riding a bike and everything. Like, what do? Do you kind of sit tight, or do you make a move? You be risky.
Well, yeah, you're basically like jumping, like taking like 10, 15 years of work to like afford your home off your plate.
Or you can go down there.
Right?
Especially if you have a house to sell here. You got something
that equity.
A townhouse for $1 million that still sells here, $900 to $1 million. You go down there buy it. Yeah, I think
buy a primary and a rental, and
I think they're onto something. I think, like I said, if you're not attached to the city and you're based on all your income, like if you have just employment, like a fixed income, I think it's good. Or you're starting trades, like a trade for sure. Just like you said, the weather is horrific.
Looking at like people in their early 30s, right? Like that grew up in like Vaughan or Woodbridge, Maple, whatever it may be, and they kind of flocked out when they couldn't live with their parents anymore. They moved to like Tonham, Bradford, like Alliston, right? So now like those places have also got expensive where you're in the 700-800 range. Now the next kind of like people that are kind of hit in their early 30s again, like where are they going to go? Aurelia? Like how far away are they going to be from the core?
Yeah.
That it's feasible for them to drive.
You're right. Even at the height of the market, we're looking for investment properties. We were out in Midland and Aurelia.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is wild.
You just have to keep driving further.
Yeah, because people based on a fixed income, and then there's a certain sweet spot where you start making passive income. After that threshold of price, you're screwed. So I think that's cool. I think what happens too is we gotta break that mold that we have to be attached to one part of whatever. Like our parents, I'm from immigrant parents as you are too. Your parents?
Well, my parents were born here.
Okay, so my parents migrated here from Italy, like, doesn't mean we have to die here. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, it doesn't make sense how we have that mentality where we can't move around and do stuff. I know in America it's different where there are 50 states, but everybody, if you, like, I'm a very curious person. I'm always talking to everybody, so I want to know where they're from, what they do. It's like this constant, curiosity. And it's literally, if you talk to any taxi cab driver or whatever it is, the Lyft and all that stuff there, whatever, the people that drive you around, they're all from different states. You go to Vegas, oh, I'm from New York, or I'm from here. It's like everyone's from somewhere
I
else.
feel like they all migrate a lot easier,
'Cause
even like for schooling. And
1,000%.
Yeah.
That country is different than ours, where it's like it's open to. If you're American, you're American. You can go to any state and go. Like you go to university, you become an engineer, you want to build bridges. You got 50 states to choose from.
Yeah.
Here the problem is here is like I don't know. I feel like we were born in Ontario here, but it's like I'm so fixated on staying in South Ontario.
Yeah, like where else could you go other than like a Calgary or really Vancouver?
But it's in our mindset. Maybe we could have gone to Vancouver.
Maybe.
It's just that mindset where we're grown to like not to leave. It's like I've on Highway 27 here. It's like it's been my whole life. My first job was on 27. My parents live off 27. My office now here is off 27. My house I just sold is off 27. My kid's school was off 27. So Highway 27. It's like, is this
the
crazy?
main artery of your life.
I'm an OCD. I like everything linear, but Jesus, like, a little bit of a zigzag would be good once in a while. Hey guys, I hope you like these conversations. We've got Mike Gatti that's going to be president during these new videos going forward. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me direct or the team at 647-962-4372. Have a great day.